Hi, I'm Jimmy Cannon, singer and voice coach, nurturing confidence through the power of the voice to deliver your message with presence and authority. Today I want to speak about pitch and how by varying high, the mids and the low of your voice can really make a difference and impact your audience. Let's talk about pitch range. Let's first talk about how we make a sound. That's called phonation, and it happens in the larynx here with loads of muscles, over 60 muscles that manipulate and stretch the vocal folds or cords here. Now they're very, very short. They're about just under 2 centimeters long. And the pitch, the fundamental pitch that they make as you're speaking for men, for instance, is around C2, which is around here, which is just about 100 hertz. It's about 200 hertz for women, which is about there. So there, if you're a woman, you're going to speak around here. If you're a man speaking there, that's fine, but it's quite high. You might want to think about dropping around there. Now my pitch is just a little bit lower than that. It's probably there, and I probably speak about there. Normally round there. I might come up a little bit high. Of course, if I get excited, I might want to just get a little bit higher, and not too high because that would sound a little bit like Mickey Mouse, but that's okay. So let's talk about range. Now range, we generally have around 2 octaves. It's quite a lot to play with. You'll be surprised that most people speak in a very limited range, and they don't generally go much higher or lower. If you speak, for instance, on one pitch, or just mainly on one pitch, that's called monotonal, and that can be a little bit aggravating after a while if you're doing it a lot and you're speaking on that one pitch for the listener. You want to engage the listener with dynamics, different tones, different resonances, and a variety of pitch range. So let's crack on and find our pitch range. Here's the first exercise, and this is a really, really good exercise for not only finding and exploring our different areas of our voice, it's a really, really good one to create a smooth transition between all the registers. Now, very, very quickly, in singing, the registers are classified like this. There are 4 modes in singing. The first mode, modal 0, is your creak, which is or very relaxed, very flappy calls like this. Some people kind of speak down there all the time, and that's obviously, you don't want to do that all the time. It's just a little bit distracting. I don't want doing an American accent. Okay, here we go. All right, then you come up a little bit high from there. Then you're into your what's called modal 1, which is your chest resonance. And it feels like it's resonating here. You can actually feel the cavities in the chest. Now that's your normal speaking voice, your chest resonance here, okay? Then we go into what's called modal 2, or your head voice, which is kind of a little bit higher there. And that's, that's quite useful because that can get quite dramatic and very expressive and very artistic, and you can get really excited about everything. And that's just really good. It's really great. I'm really passionate. My tempo of my speech might get a little bit quicker and higher. And then I can just drop it down again back to my chest resonance, which is very pure and very inductive. The last register is in singing. It's called falsetto, or the whistle voice. And we can use it occasionally if we want to, but it's a bit much. Yeah, it's just a little bit too much. But these are the registers of the voice. So here's the exercise. And this is called a siren. And whether you're a singer or not, or you're a speaker, and you just want to improve and vary and expand your pitch range of your voice, here's what to do. Firstly, we make a sound which is NG. And this is done by saying the word, for instance, sing. And at the end of the word sing is an NG. So let's just try it together. Sing. We're going to hold that last sound. NG. So sing. What we're doing is we're just raising the back of our tongue to reach the soft palate, and it creates a different resonance in the nasal passages, and also really helpful if you want to smooth over your vocal register. So let's give it a go. What we're going to do, we're going to start low on a sing, on an NG placement. Sing. And we're going to go high. We're just going to practice that. And we're going to make a siren sound. So like an American fire truck. So we can do it in a singing. Sing. And just keep going up and down. And that's just going to just sort of tap tap into those different vocal registers. So that's vocal range. So the next thing is pitch intonation or pitch patterns. And this is a way you can vary the pitch within words, sentences, or even phrases. This is a really great way to emphasize emotion and expressiveness within a short phrase. So what I want you to do, I want you to think of a phrase, a daily phrase that you might say every day or very often. So for me, I used to say quite a lot before we had the pandemic that we've still got at the moment. If you're looking at this in 2022, hopefully we're all much better and there's some sort of normality returned into our lives. Well done. What I'd like you to do is think of a phrase that you might say, and that used to be for me, can I have a cappuccino, please? Can I have a cappuccino, please? And now, actually, it's more like, why is the Netflix not working? So, what's wrong with Netflix? What's wrong with Netflix? What's wrong with Netflix? As my wife normally comes back in the room and says, I don't know, you tell me. That could be another phrase. So think of a phrase. We're going to use that. What I want you to do is I want you to say it out loud. So what's wrong with Netflix? What's wrong with Netflix? What's wrong with Netflix? What's wrong with Netflix? And then I want you to close your mouth and say it. And as you're doing that, I want you to be aware of the changes in pitch. Okay, so whether it's rising up or whether it's going down. So here we go. So again, I'm going to say you have to choose. You could use my one if you wanted to, but choose your own. It's a bit more fun. Okay, so what's happened to Netflix? And really try to articulate those vowel sounds as well, and just really open up the sound within your mouth. So now listen very carefully to that. Let's do it a little bit slow. What's happened to Netflix? Yeah, what's happened to Netflix? What's happened to Netflix? What's happened to Netflix? Now, I want you to exaggerate that. So if you were here, obviously on your own face, let's go a little bit higher. Everything, if it went up, I want you to go slightly more up in pitch. If it went slightly more down, then go down. Okay, so exaggerate it completely. So mine was, what's happened to Netflix? All right. By the way, the pitch I can hear is because I'm elongating, I'm lengthening those vowel sounds so I can hear the pitch. But let's just do it as normal speech. Okay, so here we go. Do that a few times to really get the feel. Just concentrate and focus on the pitch. So, and then say it out loud straight away afterwards. What's happened to Netflix? What's happened to Netflix? What's happened to Netflix? Okay, so here's the third exercise, and this is a really simple but very effective thing to do, and this is called pitch modulation, and you'll hear bands like Boyz II Men take that, boy bands and girl bands, Little Mix. My daughter's a huge fan of Little Mix. If you're out there, she'd love to come and see you. or just send a video or something. That would be fantastic. What they do is they're singing the chorus and then they change key and they go up either a semitone or a tone and they stand up. So they're singing and then they stand up for the key change. That's called pitch modulation or changing key. So what I'm doing here at the moment, I'm just speaking in one sort of fundamental pitch around there. So for me, it's around about there, which is a B flat 2, and that's probably about 85 hertz, something like that. I'm not completely sure. Tell me in the comments if you know your frequency range. That'd be interesting. But I'm just going to speak in here, and then just imagine that I'm saying something which is reasonably important, and I'm going up there a little bit to get a bit excited. But then I'm going to do the same thing. Then I'm going to change key, because there's a different little bit of a difference there in the topic or the context of what I'm saying, and that's gonna lift everything up a little bit. I might want to do that a little bit more. Of course, that just might get a bit ridiculous if I go up there, or get even more ridiculous if I go up there. But just try it and see what happens to you. So take an excerpt of your presentation, just a small section, and try it on a low pitch, on your sort of fundamental pitch of where you would normally be, and then just change the key. Change the key here. It's a completely different thing. It's a completely different sort of energy that you're creating. That's going to get people more engaged and keep them engaged. Hopefully you are still at the end of this video. So I really hope that, let's just do a bit of a recap. I really hope that helped. So the first thing we did, we wanted to explore our pitch range, okay? And the way we do that is just to find a sign. We just go through from the low range with an NG sound, singing all the way up. And you can hum it as well. And just explore that and start thinking about everything you say from now on. I mean, obviously you don't want to be doing this all the time. It takes a lot of energy up to do it. But, you know, think about just expanding, go a little bit high, go a little bit lower as you're speaking. And I promise you, you'll find a difference in how you come across and how you deliver your message. Number 2 is intonation. And that's the change of pitch within the word sentences or your phrases. Okay, so practice just thinking about, well, I'm going to take a phrase now and it might be part of my presentation. And instead of saying, hi, I'm Jimmy Cannon, singer and voice coach, nurturing confidence through the power of the voice to deliver your message with presence and authority, it might be this. It might be, hi, I'm Jimmy Cannon, singer and voice coach, nurturing confidence through the power of the voice to deliver your message with presence and authority. It might be that. Of course. The third thing is changing key. So I might say, hi, my name is Jimmy Cannon, singer and voice coach, nurturing confidence through the power of the voice to deliver your message with presence and authority. And I've resolved at the end. So just think about different tacks, different levels of pitch, the range of your pitch, and how you can make it much more expressive just by changing the high, the mids, and the lows of your delivery. I hope that's helped. If you'd like to work with me on a one-to-one basis, either with you or your team, please do get in touch. My name is Jimmy Cannon. Speak soon.